Well, it's very interesting because I actually became an Immunotec consultant before Immunotec became a company. So I met Dr. Bounous about December 1st of 1996. And Dr. Bounous was still at McGill University working. And they had slowly started to form a small company over in Vaudreuil. So it was a small building across from our building now. And Dr. Bounous was there with Chuck Roberts and John Molson. And I flew into Montreal because I had got a fax over the fax machine talking about this product that could, 500 liters of raw milk could make 1 kilogram of Immunocal, and that I honestly thought I was a rancher, and I honestly thought they needed milk, and I didn't have a dairy herd, but consequently, I flew into Montreal. I had absolutely no idea what I was walking into, and I walked into his office, and I met him and shook his hand, and he was a cute little, very good-looking, distinguished scientist from Italy, and it was unbelievable because I look back and I think, oh my God, like seriously, how silly was I not to immediately recognize what his, accolades were. But when he was talking to me, he talked to me about Immunocal and glutathione, and it completely went over my head. There were so many papers, and there were 7 feet of papers, and the University of this and the Royal Physicians and Surgeons of Canada. And you know what? I didn't care what it was at that point, what the product was going to do. I knew that I could learn, and I wanted to be part of that. And part of the reason why was because he was so sincere and so focused and so wanted to tell me what he discovered that it was just like, there was like if a pin dropped in the room, you could hear it. It was incredible when I first met him. So the answer is Vaudreuil, at the office before the office, when there was only 4 employees of Immunotec. There's so many. I have to tell you that day in Montreal when he was trying to explain to me, and I was a rancher, farmer girl, and I was a rodeo person, and here I was with a genius scientist, and he was trying to tell me about, what glutathione could do. I couldn't even say it. I called it glutathione. And he would be going, no, glutathione, with his Italian accent. And I said, well, what is it? What is it? And so anyway, he took, I'm going to show you this because this is all we had. So this was a canister that was taken right out of Montreal General Hospital, and I still have it. This is unopened. It's 24 years old. So we opened up the canister, and I said, well, how do I take this stuff? And Dr. Bounous was really quite a joker, so he didn't have any water there to show me. So he opened up a can of Sprite, and he put the water in the glass, and then he scooped out the Immunocal from one of these, and he put it in Sprite. Now, we all know that Sprite's not good, but it was so hilarious because it was just like great big globs. And we just cracked up laughing because there was white powder all over the table, and he was trying to like be serious, yet it was a complete mess, and it was so funny. And I mean, I have to say that was one of my fondest memories of watching Dr. Bounous try to show me how to make Immunocal and Sprite. It was funny. So this was an extraordinary, passionate, sincere person who was a complete genius and driven for life. And he really believed that food, that real natural food, could make a difference of health in the people globally. And he really believed that glutathione, or his invention with Dr. Kongshaven, could literally bridge the gap between traditional and alternative medicine. And he was so passionate about that. And his genius was amazing. Like, I mean, he really was a genius. He was a person way ahead of their time, in terms of nutrition and things like that. And he knew what he was on to, but he just had to make the world believe him. And, You know, Dr. Bounous had 138 publications. I mean, most doctors work their entire careers and never get one, but Dr. Bounous was published 138 times. And that was in 1996. So, I mean, imagine his genius at that point of his life and that point of his career. I mean, it was amazing.